All right. Well, we have hit the end of the week, so it is the finale event for I for Design from Acm Design at UCLA. It has been quite the whirlwind, but I think we all have come out of this event as stronger designers and as a closer designer community, which is what we were aiming for with this competition. So the format of this finale event will be kind of like a recap of the competition itself, just in case that since this is going to be uploaded, in case anyone stumbles upon this video and this recording to see like what exactly this event is about, if they're interested in participating again next school year. And we'll talk about the finalists, have them go through their projects. For those who are here, a couple of them have emailed and said that they were not able to participate, so we'll just give them a brief, we'll give a brief summary of their work in their behalf. And we'll close out with our winners and talk about, what's next to come for not only this event, but the design community here at UCLA. So with that being said, again, especially for those who are just watching this recording or have stumbled upon this event, my name is Crystal. I am the current president of Acm Design at UCLA. And what we do here at our organization is we try to create that design and user experience community here at UCLA. We are one of many committees within Acm at UCLA that focuses on a lot of different aspects of tech. And we focus on the design side and the more creative side of technology, which we think is pretty cool in itself. And this particular competition, I for Design, is a beginner-friendly design competition. And when we say beginner-friendly design competition, that's really what we mean. We're here to help you grow, help you take that first step towards becoming a designer, help start your first project maybe. This is for anyone who's just learning about design, maybe switching into the industry, want to learn more and build their skills more. So if for anyone who's interested and you think that this is like a stepping stone in your journey that you're about to reach or you are currently at, you're more than welcome to jump onto this event and participate next school year when we host it again. And our event theme for this particular event is sunflowers, because as designers, design itself is already such a, I guess, like more new kind of topic within the last few years that has just exploded, and we're seeing a lot more people becoming interested in design. And so for us at Acm Design at UCLA, we just want to create that community where we can all grow together and reach new heights as designers within our own design community. So integrating this event theme within our prompts has been really cool. All of your guys' projects have been very inspirational to the judges. I can't tell you how many of our judges have texted me over last night saying like, hey, these projects are really, really cool. And that's thanks to you guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing what more you guys have to bring to the table in your design careers in the future. And so, like I mentioned, this week has been insane. We've started with a kickoff event where we gave the prompt, had a designer speaker Q&A talking about experiences within both graphic and UX UI design, talking about design trends, like what's been happening in the industry, how do we feel about it, are these trends like cool amongst the kids or not? Then breaking things down into the more technical skills, so introduction to Figma in terms of how to use Figma for designing software products, how to use Figma for actual graphics, and how do you prototype your designs in Figma, as well as providing a lot of feedback and mentorship sessions. And so thank you for those who took advantage of that opportunity. It was a pleasure working with you guys for your final projects. And submissions were due. We had a great time looking at it amongst our panel of judges, and we are here to kind of celebrate the work that you've done within this past week. All right, so kind of a summary of the actual prompts. So we had 2 tracks, graphic design and UX UI product design. So product mostly gearing towards software products. And here are the prompts for this particular competition for this year. So for graphic design, we wanted people to design a graphic that showcases the event theme of this year in terms of growing together, sunflowers, and reaching new heights, coming together as a community. Same with UX UI product design, designing a website or app that connects the design community at your campus. And we left it pretty vague since there's a lot of topics that you can explore in this particular prompt. And we didn't limit it to like UCLA. We know that there are a lot of people who are from different campuses, and the design community might be a bit different from where you're from. And so we didn't want to limit you to, what, or like have you assume like what's been going on our campus. This is a problem statement for you to get involved within your own campus. And for our judging, we can send out the rubric that we use to score every project, but these are pretty much the main points that we scored everyone on. So does your design exhibit the theme clearly for graphic design? How has branding and your styling been used within your graphic in terms of color palette, typography? Are they supportive of your design choices? Your information hierarchy as well is what message you want to send being supported in your design, and can we as judges see that? Are you being diverse and inclusive in your design within your representation, and how original and creative your design thinking process was? And then for UX UI and product design, for whatever problem statement that you decided to tackle for this prompt, does your solution kind of help mitigate that? And then with branding as well, are the visual design choices supporting the features that you're implementing? Can we judges use it without you needing to be there to explain it to us? Being aware of your user's needs and wants. So with whatever problem you decided to tackle, did you understand the target audience that you're designing for? And are they able to use the product? And through that user flow, are they able to achieve what you want them to achieve and help mitigate that problem? Also, can multiple people use your application or website? Is it limited to a small target audience, or can multiple types of designers at whatever stage they are in within their design career use it? Or are you targeting like a really specific niche group? And again, how original and creative were your solutions? I think the only thing that's not mentioned here that we gave like a bonus point on was accessibility, since a couple of our judges wanted to see that, but that is totally okay if you guys did not think about accessibility. That's kind of like a later topic for more intermediate designers, especially as beginners. That's not something we expect you to be considering, but that's something that the judges were like, oh, if in case you have it, or in case you're incorporating it or unconsciously thinking about it, we wanted to give you a bonus point for that. And again, we'll send out the rubrics after this finale event. So just so you can see a better idea of like what our judges were thinking as they were scoring your projects. Again, our prizes, we will reach out to all of the winners from today and coordinate via email on how to send over prizes. So depending if you're at UCLA or if you're from another campus, we'll work with you then. It might take a bit longer after the event, but we will be sure to be on this and get, all the rewards that you deserve if you do place. And for anyone who doesn't place, I hope you consider that your first project is a reward in itself. And I'm excited to see whether or not you continue building upon this project or use it use the experience for your next project. And this is like a stepping stone for you to grow. And I hope you found that valuable as well. All right, so here are our finalists. So for graphic design, we had 2 submissions. So Alex and Gianna submitted some beautiful work within graphic design and then within product design and UX UI design. All these wonderful finalists here: Ariel, Angela, Edward, Razel, Tiffany, Angel, Taylor, and Jesse. Congratulations. We reached out to you this morning, and I see that most of you guys are here. So for those who are here, we'll give you the platform to talk about your design. And for anyone who's kind of in the audience for today, I hope you kind of take some inspiration from their thought process, enjoy sit back and enjoy like seeing what your peers have created. And then after we go through everyone's projects, we'll go in this order. So we'll start with graphic design, and then we'll go into UX, UI, and product design. Then we'll announce our winners for this event. So with graphic design, we'll start with Gianna. She is not here, so I can pull up her project and read the description of her project that she sent in. And then I'm not sure if Alex is in, but if she's not, I can do the same for her. And then we'll pass it off to UX, UI, and product design. So let me just switch over. All right, so Gianna kind of went the route of sunflower seed packets and the idea of like growing seeds to support a garden of flowers, which represents a community, and each individual flower is like one of us as designers, kind of taking that first step in our journey, becoming whatever designers we choose to be, and then growing through our design journey to become professional designers, which is kind of like the end result. So she says, my project is a sunflower seed packet. It represents the potential that sunflowers have to grow strong and tall, as well as their resilience under many growing conditions. Yes. And all right, Alex just messaged me, so I will do the same for her project. Let me just pull it up. Okay, and this is her graphic. So she says, branching off the theme of sunflowers and growth, I created this graphic that reflects a group of people collectively working towards a common goal. Through the painted building blocks of various sizes, my graphic shows how growth comes in different sized steps at different times and is created through the efforts of many people. Or another way to look at it, one person at different stages in their life as they grow for the person they are, have been, and will be. And so those two are our submissions for graphic design. And then now for UX, UI, and product design. Let me get this ready, but I will hand the floor to Ariel. I see she's here. So Ariel, hello, welcome to the finale event. Sharing screen, that feature has been enabled. So the floor is yours. Walk us through your thought process with the prompt and take us through your product itself.
Awesome, sure. Thanks for having me. Can you guys see my screen? Oops. Can you all see it?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so for this prompt, my own cohort at SJSU often does try to work together on not necessarily design projects together, but working towards their own projects together, if that makes sense, like at the same time, kind of synchronously. And we kind of like share our ideas about when we're going to do these things, but we never really find the time to connect about it and really build that sense of community. So a big goal of Green Spaces was kind of to encourage that like everybody hop in and start working when you feel like it and kind of like boost group morale. So that was kind of like where the inspiration started. I talked to a couple people from my program just about things that make them feel like design is a more approachable topic and something that they can start tackling. And I kind of took it from there. So once we log into Green Spaces, you can kind of get in there with your San Jose or UCLA email or whatever school email address you have. I put San Jose State because that's where I'm from. So once you're in, instead of having friends that you're adding, you actually are just automatically friends with everyone who's also in your campus design community. So that way there's not like a pressure to add people or have lots of connections or anything like that. It's really just about like building your community from like who else wants to be engaged in that process. So you can engage in like a couple different topics. So there's meetups where you can do online or in real life now that we're kind of transitioning back to in-person classes soon, which is exciting. You can connect with people about the projects that you're working on, giving and getting feedback, which is a really great way to like build your communication skills and also your like critical eye for design. Something huge with design is kind of like looking outwards and growing in that sort of way. So having a dedicated space to share resources was something that I found really important to be able to put it out there for the design community. And then finally, actually collaborating together. So not just working at the same time, but actually working together on a project, something like this design event, for example, where people could kind of team up. So let's go see what kind of working sessions we have available. So you'll be able to see that there's different spaces on campus. So this would be like an in-person option, your friends on campus. And like I said, like everyone is your friend once they're in the design community. You don't like have to go add people. And you can check in and out of the different spaces that you're in. So right now I'm in the student union, it says. And then there's also virtual work sessions. So you can have different topics like portfolio building session where people can kind of get together and work on one concentrated effort. And it can be their own thing, but if you're kind of like in that online space together, it can make you feel like a little bit more motivated to get working on a project. And something that I noticed in our Discord for our cohort was people would sometimes say, oh, like I'm working on my portfolio at this time, or does someone want to work on it? But the timing issue and having to announce that you're actually working on something can be hard for a lot of people. So instead, I decided to kind of put this like floating option, like, oh, you can come and join our Zoom link if you'd like. And then if you want to add a new space for a new type of topic, you can do so here. And then lastly, we have these different topics that designers can go through. So in their newsfeed, you can post different kinds of projects and items that you would like to get feedback on. And when you are looking at someone else's, you can actually reply anonymously. Oh, it's not clicking for me. But you can reply anonymously to people's feedback posts because sometimes it can be a little bit intimidating to give your thoughts like candidly when your name is attached to it. So I thought that for the feedback area, it could be nice to just leave that as like an anonymous option, but people can still kind of hear what others have to think about their projects. Then we have events. So kind of really great opportunities for the community to get involved together. People can post about this and let others know. And then collaboration. So here we see someone wants to work for this very challenge that we're all in. And so it kind of leaves this open space of like, hey, let's get together, let's work on something. And because you don't have to be friends with any specific member of the community, anyone in the design community can get involved from a really early start. And finally, we have like a resources page because sometimes you might stumble across something that's really helped you and you want to kind of give it back and help the community grow. So it's a great place to post this, especially if you don't necessarily have time to walk someone through what you learned. So you can kind of just drop your link here. And if you wanted to add something new, you could do so here with this. Like add my own post area, and you would tag the post so that you could have your content showing up in one of the different topics so that people who are looking for that kind of relevant information can find it. Yep. So that's about it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ariel. Yeah, we all had a blast kind of walking through green spaces and imagining ourselves using it. Okay, so that has been green spaces with Ariel. So now next we have Bloom with Angela and Edward. So, hi, Angela.
Hi, thank you, Crystal. Ariel, that was amazing. Let's see, can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes, we got it.
Okay, sounds good. I apologize. We didn't really know like how to prototype yet, so just gonna be walking you guys through our Figma. So I hope everyone's okay with that. So I worked in a pair with Edward. He's not here right now, so I will be speaking on behalf of him as well as me. So yeah, so we decided that we wanted to go the UX UI design route because that's what we thought would be the best way to help people connect, learn, and reach their goals. So we created Bloom. Taking inspiration from Khan Academy and Reddit, the whole concept around Bloom is basically a learning and community platform in one. So having design courses and kind of like a community that Ariel just showed us. So yeah, this is where beginner designers can not only learn everything about design with our curriculum on their own, but also ask for help, give advice, and chat with other designers along the way as they're learning. So what will Bloom users learn? So we wanted to maintain the concept of flowers as we kind of designed the curriculum. So we separated the beginner, intermediate, and advanced classes into stages of a sunflower. So in root, you're learning the basics. So you're spreading your roots, you're learning the fundamentals about design, and as you sprout, you use those building blocks from the root courses to directly apply them to common scenarios and kind of just learn the standard practices and what it means and what everyday designers use. And we hope by as you reach the Bloom stage, you're kind of feeling prepared as you finish the advanced and more rigorous courses, helping you get into the industry and advancing your portfolio. And as I mentioned, this is also a community as well for designers, and we kind of call that the garden, just like a garden of sunflowers, where you can contribute, compare, and collaborate. And here, we hope that everyone will make a profile just to make it more of an immersive experience, not only to keep track of your coursework progress, but also as you join the community, people know who you are and people can see what you've done. I just want to, just for fun, just show you guys what we had as our draft. It looks completely different from how we did our final. So we kind of just designed this just like what looks cool, not really taking into account user experience or anything like that. So I just want to give a shout out to Crystal because it was only until we got her feedback in our session that we were like, okay, we want to do something more minimal because this is a place for beginner designers and beginner designer doesn't have like an age limit or, so we wanted to keep it minimal, simple, and clean for everyone. All right, so take a look at the curriculum page. You can click any of these cards or on the navigation bar to navigate you to this curriculum page, separated into 3 units. And each lesson is a card that you can click on. And so just taking a look at one of them, here's the fundamentals lesson card. And some things that we really wanted to be really visible was the duration and garden rating. I don't know about you guys, but I know for a lot of students in online courses, it's really helpful to know how long it is, just so you have an idea of what you're kind of putting yourself into. And arguably one of the most important things that we added in is the garden rating. I know that with online classes, it can feel very like individualistic, but we didn't want that. We wanted it kind of to be like brew and walk, where other people that have taken the class can give feedback, they can give tips, and they can give advice for users that are about to take that class. All right, so if you click on this card, it's going to take you to the lesson page. Right away, you can see the description and the objectives, and I really wanted the objectives to be really visible because I think it's really important to know what kind of skills that you're going to be gaining after you finish this lesson. And right below that will be sections, and each unit is divided into lessons and each lessons are divided into sections. And the way that we did that was because we just want it to be really clear and coherent about all the topics that you're going to be learning and just make it really easy for you to see what you learned and the type of things that you're going to be learning. And For the progress bar, we did it in terms of points, as you can see here, and you can jump to any topic, whether that be through the video or like a chapter reading or the task. You can click whatever you want to do first. And if you click begin, it's going to take you directly to the reading. This is just a placeholder for like a short chapter in like information of introduction to shape and color, for example. And if you click next, you get your 10 points, and you can watch a video for more visual learners. And after that, I'd say one of a really important feature is the try it at the end. So we definitely did not want the last section to be like an MCQ or FRQ type of thing, but more so like something that you would directly apply as a skill, like for example, learning and being comfortable with using Figma and having them directly like have the users try that out on their own. And once they complete that, they're taken to this complete page, 50 out of 50 points. You really can't lose points, but it's just, I guess it's really motivating to see that. And go to the community page. So this is what I have. It's a work in progress. It's you know, we definitely are going to work on it more, but this is kind of the concept that we wanted. You can chat with friends. It's your one-stop shop for assets, tutorial, and friends. And all the content here is posted by users. Most of the stuff that we would provide from like Bloom itself would be with the curriculum, but everything here is just a base for users to share links, videos, things that they find helpful, supplemental materials, stuff like that. And so let's say you're Joe Bruin. Here's Joe Bruin's profile. You want to stalk him. You can see what he's completed. You can see the courses in progress that he's doing. You can see his community activity and stuff like that. You can just, you know, see what everyone's doing and kind of chat with them. And yeah, that's all we have. Definitely so excited to be continuing to work on this and make it better. But thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, of course. I think all of our judges, I think one of the things that really stood out to us was the imagery of growth, which is really inspiring, not only for, you know, all types of learners, but just that visual aid just really strengthened your idea behind your project. And we thoroughly enjoyed it. Right, so that has been Bloom. Next is Design Village by Razel. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And Tiffany. I should have asked how to pronounce your name, but go for me so I don't screw it up the second time or like the time after.
It's pronounced
Hello.
Razel. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Razel.
Razel and
It's
Tiffany.
fine.
Yeah, you guys have the floor.
Yep.
So good morning or hello everyone. My name is Tiffany, and today we have my partner here today with Razel. We are actually from Ateneo de Manila University in the Philippines. So it's actually 3 a.m. right now. So yeah, since Valentine's Day is here, it's really easy for us to feel alone, especially for us in the design community where there is an abundance of resources, but a lack of deep interpersonal connections. Ashley, a 20-year-old design student from the Philippines, expressed that she feels lonely and confused as she navigates her UX journey. While there is a wide range of design resources available that are entirely useful, being a part of a community would help you maximize it through connections or creating new projects. Through an extensive research with the stakeholders, we validated this frustration to confirm our hypothesis. We recognize that beyond sharing our knowledge and expertise, there is still a need for designers to feel connected with each other on a much personal level. At present, it is rare for us to have an environment where we are able to freely share our joys and also our doubts, fears, and frustrations. So I would like to welcome you all to our home, fellow designers. Design Village is an online social community that gathers designers together to grow friendships, skills, and experience. It cultivates a safe and inclusive space where everyone, whether a beginner or advanced, is wholeheartedly welcome. It is not about how much experience you have, it is about sharing the same passion for design. Design Village was born to serve that passion so that designers can freely express themselves and connect with each other for learning and growth. Next slide, please. Before bringing design village to life, we started with a main how might we statement to establish a scope for us to explore. We came up with how might we foster an environment where designers of different fields connect and grow together. Ideas sparked our heads as we immediately wrote. However, to validate them, we needed to better understand the problem and know what exactly we are solving. The right solutions will only come once we solve the right problem. Thus, we conducted various research methods to discover and define the problems and needs of designers. To better understand the state of existing design communities, we conducted a competitive analysis among 4 different design organizations to identify which areas need more improvement and which strengths can be retained. With this, one of the key findings we have found is that one of the main practices for ensuring member growth is through hosting talks, mentorships, and other related events with design leaders. Despite this, there's still a lack of engagement within these communities. In turn, members find it difficult to make meaningful connections with others and develop their skills. We also personally talked to key student designers in order to further understand and empathize with them. We came up with the following goals. First is understand the current experiences of designers in the communities they have joined. Next, discover what designers seek to achieve when joining a design community. And lastly, discover what could encourage designers to form connections in an online platform. These are focused on the experiences in communities, their needs and goals as designers, and their attitude and forming connections. These served as a guide for asking them the right questions so that we could get the right answers. To better analyze our research, especially since it's filled with a lot of qualitative data, we made an affinity map to organize and group patterns. This made our job a lot easier since we are able to make sense of our user data in a glance. One of the interesting insights that we gained is how mostly they rely on the support of others for growth. And some of the communities they're in, they joined projects knowing nothing, but other designers have guided them throughout the process. A problem we discovered, however, that not everyone gets the same opportunity. There was a need to focus on the growth of each member. Aside from this, another insight is that they had a difficult time interacting and making friends, which also aligns with our competitive analysis. They mentioned that the benefits of having designer friends as well, which emphasizes its importance. And finally, we wanted to translate our findings into stories to have a better grasp of our users' goals, needs, and frustrations. We have come up with the persona of Ashley Ping, a seasoned graphic designer and illustrator who recently discovered the path of product design. She wants to build her knowledge and experience on design as a beginning. At the same time, she wants to feel supported in her journey and support other designers as they develop their passion for design. However, to achieve these goals, she would need the guidance of a mentor and have a community that promotes the holistic growth and development of design. So now I'll pass on my to Reza.
Thank you, Taffy, for explaining those. I'll move on with the solutions. So as we had a clear view of the user needs and problems, we started a real ideation phase. This time it has more how might we so that it can encourage creative exploration for solutions. So mostly we focused on the following values based on our research, which was like community building, learning and growing, support and comfort. We wanted to include these in our solutions. So another method we utilized was sketching on paper as we wanted to focus on how to execute these ideas. It was helpful for trial and error and exploring different design decisions. So this is just like a snippet of like how we did sketches. It's very quick and I really recommend it to everyone since it doesn't take much resources. Next, we have the patterns. So before we started the redesign, we actually looked at and analyze UX patterns across different social platforms that are credible. So this include Twitter, Reddit, Tumblr, and more. It was really helpful for our design as we get to see like the common design patterns that were like time tested already. And then we also thought of the branding, and one of the main values we embody in Design Village is collective growth and passion. Hence, we made use of green and pink as our main colors while utilizing a sans serif typeface to maintain readability. We chose the name Design Village, and the members are named Neighbors, as we want every designer to feel at home rather than getting professional vibes. So I'll just make a quick walkthrough of our UI. So first we have our login, and users are welcome to the Design Village by first entering their credentials. And if they are new to the village, they will simply make an account. Then next we have a home screen. So as the users enter the home page, they are able to see questions, events, and other works shared by fellow designers. These are also easily identifiable as they have tags indicating if it's an advice, event, work, and so much more. Then on their profile page, they are able to showcase their own posts, works, as well as goals to track their progress. They are also able to do this with a body so that they can motivate one another and keep themselves accountable, as seen here. Next, we have the notif page where they are able to see who interacts with their posts and who has requested to be their neighbor in the village. We also have the search page or explore page, and this is where users are able to explore and connect with fellow designers in the village. So they may find mentors, buddies, groups, and projects. They are also able to tune in to live fireside chats hosted by fellow design neighbors and listen to their thoughts on design. Lastly, we have a message page where users can talk to anyone. Aligning with the different features we have, this is where they can converse with their buddy, group, mentor, or group projects. We also added a feature that unites people together if they haven't talked for a long time. So through Design Village, we hope that every designer will feel at home with a community by their side. We bring them together to grow together. Maybe this will be the place that will grow more designers who will change your world for the better. Or maybe we get to meet great friends who we talk to until the day we die. Who knows? The impacts can be endless or cause butterfly effects. So that is all, and thank you all for listening all throughout. As we emphasize on connecting with other designers, why not we do it as well? So drop your LinkedIn in the chat or connect with us using these links. Thank you again, and good luck, everyone.
Thank you guys so much. I'm still shook that you guys had time to build the deck since we were expecting just the walkthrough of your prototype. But yeah, all the aspects of finding a mentor to finding projects, finding people to work with, we were all impressed by how organized and innovative your user flow was. So that has been Design Village. So next we have Berkeley Design Community by Angel.
Thank you, Crystal, and great work, Tiffany and Russell. So let me share my screen first. So I used Adobe XD to design my project, and can I? Yeah, so the goal of my project is to actually to unite and provide assistance to my campus design community. A brief introduction about myself. My name is Angel, and I'm a senior year student studying media study in UC Berkeley. And yeah, so here's my landing page. So in here you can log in, and then this will be the interest page, where you check in your interest. For example, you're interested in graphic design, user experience, user interface, web design. And then so here are your choices. So you can click on the next page, and it will bring you to the main page. So so in homepage, so this is your homepage, and then in homepage we will show you we will recommend. I mean, this app will recommend the clubs according to the interests you just check in. And you can also, if you have additional interest or you have new clubs that you want to search, you can also search in the search bar. And there's also a reminder reminder box pops up in the homepage, because in this app you'll be able to reserve for the events held by the clubs, and also make appointments with some officers. And this will act as a like a notification function to remind you, oh, maybe you have like an appointment happening soon. And in here you can like fill your appointment, you can join call in here, and you can for example, you feel like, oh, I've noticed notification, so now I want to cross it out, and it will goes out. And so this is our homepage. And the second function will be the event calendar. So in the event calendar, this is where like the it will show different like the different events held by different clubs. So in here you can search events, you can like you can go through like different months to see the upcoming or previous events. So there's like the circle behind the number, the date. So that is the day when the event is holding. So like the pictures are the posters of those events. And for example, if I want to check out this event, and you'll see the basic information of this event, for example, like the when does it held, where, and also like a brief introduction about this event. And if you want to like register it, so you go here and you will see like there's like a table in here. So the gray spots are the ones that are like being booked, and the light blue one is the available ones. And for example, if you want to make a spot, and then you click on it, and you also this is the one that's selected, and then you reserve, and then it will tell you like, oh, your spot has been successfully reserved. So, and then you'll go back. So this is our event function. And the third one is our resources function. So the resources is, so our aim of this resources function is to help the designer to continuously grow. And so it is like beginner and advanced designer friendly, because so this resources will be posted by the club's committee like regularly. So they will post different articles that they think are useful regularly to this function. So in here you can filter this by the clubs, like the interests. I mean different categories. And then so like for example, this is for web design. And then so I also did interviews with like couples of my beginner and like beginner design and also like advanced designer friends. So they reflected that like when they just started like doing design, there are like too many resources out there online, and they do not know like which to read. So this function will help to like categorize those articles. They like these committees will help to post the ones that they think are useful and like trending topics. So for example, if you want to read this article and you click in, so in here you will see like so I know like people hate to read like long articles. So this will help you to like divide into different sections. So this won't make people feel like, oh, I have to like read a lot. And yeah, so this is my resources tab. And so the last function is the appointment functions. So like the appointment, the goal of the appointment function is to like provide connections to different designers. It's just similar as like a mentorship program. So in here you can like schedule appointment with the committees from different clubs. So in here again, we can filter different clubs in here, and then each club will send out the officers, and then these officers will show up their like available time and hours where you can schedule appointment to talk with them about your, so like for example, beginner designer, you can talk about your maybe questions about design, like how to go into the advanced level. You can talk about your homework. And for the advanced designer, you can design, you can communicate with these officers about your idea. You can get feedback about your portfolios, and just you can talk anything like with these officers. And for example, if I want to like make an appointment, so here it will be like a brief introduction of this designer, of these officers, and then you'll make maybe appointment Monday 5 o'clock, and then you confirm. And same as the event, there will be like a notification pop out that saying that you have like successfully made your appointment. And so if you want to maybe like check out your schedule, just like I showed you in the homepage before. So you'll click on the account tab. So in the account tab, you'll go to like the schedule, so like your personal schedule. So here this will show you your upcoming schedule, like for example, like the events you reserved and the appointment you scheduled. And here is also where you can join call. So like for example, you just scheduled an appointment with Kelly, and then now you join call. And then so this is where you talk with her, and then you are also be able like to type your text in here. You can like communicate with them by text. And then here's when you after you hang up, you will find out like you will find out like the appointment you just showed with Kelly, it disappeared. It actually automatically goes to the previous event. So in here, this is where you can check your this is where you can check your previously joined history. Yeah, so this is my app, and thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, Angel. Yeah, a lot of innovative features in your designs that our judges were taken aback by. And it was really interesting to see them play out through your prototype.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, so that has been Berkeley Design Community. So next we have Sunflower by Taylor and Jesse.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me share my screen. Okay. So first we did a little bit of a survey, or no, we brainstormed our ideas first, and then we did a survey, sort of based on our idea. And we found that a lot of people, or we only had 7 responses, but we found that most people did have some difficulty finding a product design community on campus. And I'll just like quickly scroll through these. We found that most people sort of had trouble with finding a group to work with and finding a community on campus for design. And then we sort of made a little bit of an inspiration board based on our idea and user flows based on our survey, along with the design systems. And we made Sunflower. Sunflower is an app that connects student designers with one another. Our app uses a filter and pairing system based on users' preferences after they fill out a short questionnaire. So it's sort of based on Hinge. At least it's sort of like process.
I think, did you switch tabs, or are you still on the Figma screen?
Oh, I think I'm on the Figma screen. Is it not showing?
On your ideation page, or did you switch to another, or your prototype?
I didn't switch to the prototype yet.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah, so Sunflower is an app that connects student designers with one another. Our app uses a filter and pairing system based on users' preferences after they fill out a short questionnaire, as I mentioned earlier. And after the user fills out the questions, they can search for project ideas listed by other student designers or create their own prompt. Once a project has begun, the app generates a task for each member and guides them through a specific part of the design process in which they are tasked with. The members can then collaborate on the prompt with one another through a group messaging system. And so I can just quickly go over the onboarding process. Here, it just goes over what the app is about. And here's a sign up. We wanted to space out the questions so that it wasn't, there wasn't too much cognitive overload or content overload when answering these questions. And after getting some feedback from Crystal, we decided to add progress bars throughout our entire flows so that the users had a good idea of the process for onboarding and some of the other features that we'll go over later. We added a little bit of some information, little buttons, so that people can understand some of the jargons included in our experience. And Jesse, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, sure. Sorry for the background noise. If you guys hear anything, I'm at the airport. So yeah. So for this, for the project itself, we wanted it to be so. If you wanted to find a projects that people in the community are making or they want to start, you can join one that people either at your campus or other campuses are trying to find members for. So this person is trying to find like a app for plant caretaker. So they would click it. And then you could look at like the profiles of the members. So like we want to look at SHG AMP, then you can look through it. You can see, you know, what you can connect with them. And connecting with them is sort of like, I guess it's sort of based off of LinkedIn, and like you can make connections that way with designers instead of like, you know, with anybody. So it's just more people, more resources to connect with. And you can, and then from here you go back and look, and you can, this person wants to join plant caretaker. So they would ask to join, and you go back to the dashboard, and from here you can, like, you see a notification at the bottom, and you click it, and it's like you've been accepted to plant caretaker that you just asked to invite. And then you can introduce yourself, which there's a messaging portion of the app, so you don't have to get all their socials and be confused on what social like media to talk, I guess, because I feel like sometimes it's difficult in groups where it's like, well, where should we talk? Discord or, you know, Facebook, or so it's like a built-in, so everybody is easier access. And from here, you can also still look at their profile. You click on the icon, go back, and then you can send a message, and it's a link. So you can like copy links, and this will lead you to like a save links. It's like pinned, I guess, like pinned messages in a way. And so from there, you can go back to home, and this is like your dashboard of how many projects you've done, you completed, and connections. So these are the main three aspects of our app. And from here, you can look at the task that you're able to view it earlier too, but here's also another way to access it. So you can choose the icon, the task icon, to look through your task. So this is like your first task, comparative analysis, and have a diagram that explains it for visual learners, and then written out and like links to resources if you want to read more about it. You can go next step. Wireframing. I mean, there's not like it's you don't go straight to wireframing, but you know, you get the gist of how it's supposed to be laid out. And you go final task, and this would be onboarding, and then you can, when you're done, you can submit, and this would give you a whole bunch of links to put your Figma file, your Google Docs, anything that you used. So you can like either make it public for other people to see, or just keep it private. So it's just like you have it all stored in one location of like the projects you work together on. And then you confirm, congratulations, you finished the project. And this would like update on your dashboard. If you go next, yep. And so you can look at your ongoing projects again, it'll be updated. Yeah, and then you can like leave groups too if you ever want to with the X button, and you could go like, oh no, never mind, and you can see all the messages in one place as well with notifications, of course, and look at your connections that you've made. You can look at Anthony's profile again if you really want to look at it, like, you know. And then from here, you can see there's regular settings that, you know, apps usually have. So you can go back and change your preferences from the beginning. It's not a one-time. If you think your experience has gone up, you can change it. And then you can look at settings and then log out. And yeah, that is it. We basically did like a whole flow from like the whole process of how you would experience the app from beginning to end. But would you like to add anything, Taylor?
Yeah, so the reason why we decided to proceed with this idea is because we found that there were a lot of very niche design communities on campus, especially at UCLA and UCSD, where people could only join certain clubs. And sometimes it's really hard to get involved with those clubs aside from attending workshops. So we wanted to create a more hands-on experience for people on campus. And I just want to say good job to everyone that, well, good job to everyone in general for participating today. And the projects so far have been really good. Did you want to add anything, Jesse?
No, I ditto that thought. And thank you guys also for listening.
Thank you.
All right, that has been Sunflower. And yeah, again, another impressive project that all the judges were taken aback by. And I don't know if it was a couple of decisions were like intentional or unconscious design choices, but a lot of the choices that you guys presented showed to our judges, you guys thought at a very higher level in terms of like your user personas and how like different design elements would support different aspects of your features. So big congrats to all the presenters and everyone who participated. Again, we had a fantastic time judging your projects. Honestly, made it so hard, which is why it took so long. But with that being said, I can move to announcing what you guys really want to know, which would be our winners. So drum roll, please, in the chats and all the emojis and all that stuff. So our winners are, congratulations for graphic design. We have Alex placing first, and then Gianna placing second. And then within our product and UX UI track, we have Design Village taking first, Green Spaces taking second, and Sunflower taking third. So with everyone listed on this slide, I and my team will reach out to each of you guys to coordinate how we'll send out your prizes, since you guys are all from different campuses around the world, apparently. So we'll be in touch with you on how that works, if we're sending stuff over, how COVID regulations work. It just might take a while, but we will be sure to get all that to you. For transparency's sake, when you guys do see the scores for the projects, so everyone has an average of 2 scores between from all the judges. So all the judges, 2 judges scored your projects, and then we took the average of that. And then for the finalists, we had another judge come in and provide a 3rd score. And so that was for you guys, for finalists, your scores are the average of 3 scores. So we'll provide all that out, send that out within the next week or so, just so you guys can see and have some numbers for your portfolio and for your resume. So what's next? We'll send out a feedback form about this event. So totally optional, but it would really help us know how we can improve this event in the future. This is the first time we are hosting the event. And it's been a wild week, so there are definitely ways we can improve and make this event more accessible to other students and other campuses as well. So when you have the time, please let us know. That feedback form won't have like a due date or whatnot. Just fill it when you can if you are able to, and that would be of great help for us. We'll also be working on personalized feedback for those that requested it. We will give a very long and lengthy feedback form, nothing about like nitpicking or whatnot, just like some thoughts, praises for what you guys done, maybe thoughts for if you wanted to take this product and work on it in the future, anything of the sort. We'll just add all of our thoughts to each project for those that asked for it. And so because it's personalized, because we are going deep into your project to provide this feedback, it's going to take a while. So within the next couple weeks, if not the next month or so, just with school and all that, all of our busy schedules. So, but we will make sure to get all that to you, and hopefully you find it helpful for either your next design competition or your next project, or wherever your next step is within your design journey. We'll also have a gallery, a public gallery for your projects. So mostly for completed prototypes, since some people just submitted their notes, which is totally okay. I would also understand if you would not want to show just simply your notes, but we'll just kind of come through and see if there are any completed prototypes and add it to our gallery. If you are not comfortable with showing your project, since this is a beginner event and we understand it might be intimidating for you to kind of show everyone at your first, maybe your what would be your first work, please email us and let us know. At the moment, we'll just assume we can put everyone's on the gallery, but we'll just send out multiple emails just to make sure that we have your consent before actually pushing that gallery document out. Again, if you're not comfortable with it, totally okay, just please let us know. And then we'll also provide the score sheet and the rubric for or from the judging session to you guys within the next week or so. And so if this has been a fun experience for you and you're interested in participating in other design-a-thons at UCLA specifically, so there are 2 to look out for within the spring quarter. So spring quarter for semester students would be April through June. So Bruin Entrepreneurs and Creative Labs are 2 organizations on campus that host design-a-thon-like events. So Bruin Entrepreneurs, theirs is called Design-a-thon, and theirs is sometimes a couple days to 1 week of competition, very similar to ours where they'll provide workshops. You can pair up with a team. I think there sometimes they allow you to have up to 4 teams or 4 members in a team. And the difference between their design-a-thon and ours is they, for actually both Creative Labs and Bruin Entrepreneurs, they focus on product more. And for us, we focus on product and specifically software products, which is where the UX UI track comes from. And so for them, it's more so, it's not just app design or website design, it's also, huge projects or services, or what tangible products can you design to have their, to solve their problem statement. So thinking outside the box, what else can you design? You don't have to actually build it out or prototype it. It could be sketches, especially for Bruin Entrepreneurs that you submit. They're not looking for a actual product to see, but just your ideas. And so if you want to see inspiration and what that actually means, their last design-a-thon, here's the link to their gallery. So just to give an idea, their last design-a-thon was about LA in 50 years. So what are issues that you can see happening in 50 years? So things like overpopulation, weakening infrastructure, rising sea levels. What are ways that you can design or apply design thinking to mitigate some of those issues? So Bruin Entrepreneurs, that their design-a-thon is open to all college students as well. So anyone from any campus can apply and be a part of it. For Creative Labs at the moment, since it is in person, it's currently restricted to UCLA students. If conditions change and they have to move it online, they will open it up to all college students throughout the nation, around the world as well. Same thing with Creative Labs. For them, it's 2 days of designing, providing workshops, providing mentorship, feedback, all that stuff. And very similar type of prompt where they'll provide a problem statement and you can think outside of the box, outside of software. Not saying that you can't do software, but you can do other types of design as well to kind of tackle their problem statement. Creative Labs, they have theirs scheduled for the start of April, and then Bruin Entrepreneurs usually happens towards the end of April-ish, week 7 for quarter system students, around that time frame. So for Creative Labs, for those who are not UCLA students, feel free to kind of keep in touch with their Instagram. I think that's where they'll be posting that announcement in case they do move virtual. But if you want any more information on either design-a-thon events, feel free to reach out to me. I can reach out to those organizations to get you more information as well. But those are just similar events in design to look at for that's happening at UCLA. And then we did get a question about how, or like any suggestions to where else you can participate in other design related events or communities that might not be specific to UCLA. So if you're looking for another, Adobe Creative Jam is another type of competition or design competition that happens very frequently throughout the year. So like pretty much every month or so. So that's a great way to get started. Also beginner friendly as well. That's the big one. And then I'm sure other campuses have their own design-a-thons as well that may or may not be open to other students. I know Duke has held a design-a-thon in the past that was open to all college students, but I don't know personally if it's like a recurring event or not. But I'm sure other campuses have their own design-a-thons. All right, so with that, thank you all for such a wonderful week of design. I hope you guys all found it fun and helpful. And again, thank you all for the work that you provided. I hope this was helpful. I hope you grew from this event and you took that first step towards your first project or becoming a designer. And you were welcomed into the event as well and welcomed into our design community. Yes, please let us know if there's anything else you need in the future. Don't be hesitant to reach out about anything from mentorship to maybe design feedback on your next project. We would be more than grateful and more than happy to help you out. So with that, that is the end of our event and I can stop recording here.